Well, good morning, old girl. Time to give you some new strings. Looking forward to this. Okay. We're on the bench over here. We're doing two things this morning. Aside from giving her some new strings. It's my old German Strad. We're also going to be taking up some slack on this tailpiece. When I put in the Sacconi Adjuster, and that's what these are called now, you can see right here how long it is. It comes up over the end peg here, and over the back, over the saddle, and allows it to come way up here. Yeah, I looked into that. That's about 2 centimeters, 2 millimeters. Anyway, whatever. I checked the distances because there are set distances. Now there are. It didn't used to be. There are set distances from the nut to the bridge, from the bridge to the beginning of the tailpiece. Actually, okay, from the nut to the bridge, and from the bridge back to that slot right there. This tailpiece does not have that little what do you want to call it? Well, it's like a fret almost in a guitar, and this one is missing that. An old one that I had when I was refurbishing my old German Strad here. But what is going on is that this is about 2 millimeters or more, something like that, too far up close to the bridge. And it does make a difference on your resonance through the instrument. This distance needs to be longer in proportion to this distance. Get your fingers off it, Randy. Because you have oils in your skin. Okay. So anyway, what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking the chin rest off, taking the strings off, which means everything's going to come down. The bridge is going to come down. I'm hoping my sound post doesn't fall. I don't think it will. It's very well set. And then we've got to take this tailpiece off and take up the slack on that Sacconi Adjuster. That used to be called a tailgut, but not anymore. Now that's a nylon strap that's threaded. Anyway, we'll talk about that as we get to it, but let's go ahead and get started. All right. I don't know how. All right, if you have a little tool that you're going to be taking your, you have a little tool that you're going to be taking your tailpiece off, just be really careful that you not put it all the way through and scratch the back of your instrument. You got to be really careful. Just be watching it. And there we go. It's happening. There he goes. That's all I needed. Come on, baby. There, you can do it with your fingers after you get to a certain point. There we go. Tailpiece off. Chin rest off. All right. Now you can see how much over the top of the saddle this goes before it allows the tailpiece to come way up onto the plate, or the sound, the sound plate here, top of the instrument. And so what I'm going to do is, when I take these strings off, I'm going to go ahead and do an adjustment on this. So this is the beauty of the quote-unquote Sacconi Adjuster. That takes the place of the old tailguts. And I'm going to go ahead and take up the slack on this so that it brings this tailpiece all the way back to just right there, right at the beginning of the inside of the the saddle. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I hate to do this because that means my violin is going to be out of commission here for a little while, but it's got to happen. Okay. All comes down. I take them off one at a time. Now I realize I've seen it when somebody's been changing the strings, and they actually, thank you very much, Mr. Bridge. You can go over there, where they actually just cut them. I don't do that. I figure the day may come when I have a string break, and rather than hassle with it, having to go buy a whole new set of strings, I take every one of these strings and very carefully coil them like that, in such a way, like that. Okay, I realize I'm trying to do this in front of the camera, and I'm not doing it in front of the camera. I take every one of these and put it right back in the baggie, the little bag that the new string comes in. So in other words, this is going to be going in the G container over here. Well, let's just go ahead and get out our new strings, and then we'll go from there. All right, here we go. And these are all marked. Okay, see, your E, your A, your D, and your G, they're all marked. And so that's exactly how I'm going to be putting these back. So my G string is going to come out of there, go back in there, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to do the D now. Just for kicks, I'll probably go ahead and do some peg drops on each one of these pegs. I just did them recently when I had that D slip the other night, and so they're not going to need it by much. Okay, there's my D. All right, there's a D. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm doing these right in order over here. I don't want any confusion, although it shouldn't be. The thing that's interesting on this is that this A is a wound string, and most of them are these days. But it looks, because of the so I'm trying to butcher, because these are preludes. They are preludes, whatever they want to call it. It looks thicker, actually, or just as thick as your G does, and yet it is not. I mean, it is an A, and it winds up very nicely to an A. So anyway, I'm just get these on out. Okay, here we go again. This one's being obnoxious. Okay, all right. A, and again, I'm putting it right in order over here so there's no confusion. Now we get our E string off of here. All right, there we go. And with the E string, we're going to just set this aside for the moment. that frees us up. That frees us up. Okay, there's our tailpiece. And there's the adjusters. And boy, you can see how much I had not taken up the slack on that. Okay, so this has got to, we do this one at a time. This comes forward, and then this screws down, pushes on out so I can have access to it. I'm threading that back onto the, to take up slack. And boy, it is very, very difficult to, okay. Tell you what, I'm going to cancel this for just a minute, cancel you guys out, because this is going to take me some struggle with these, this adjuster. These things are not being cooperative, so I'll be back to you as soon as I get the slack taken up. All right, everything's done. With the tail gut off, I took the time to go ahead and do some polishing underneath. There was some scunge buildup back here that I didn't bother to get the first time I went through and refurbished this instrument. Keep in mind here, when I did that initially, I had not chosen this to be my baby, as it were. And so I'm going, as I'm going back, I'm kind of covering some stuff that I didn't do it before. Anyway, there's a bunch of scunge buildup right here, some of that black crud that was right along here when you saw it last time that we worked on it. And I got that all cleaned up and polished. Underneath the edge where the tailpiece was, that had gotten kind of cloudy and weird. So anyway, I got that all cleaned up and again, polished it with some weight violin polish. So anyway, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get started up here with our tailpiece. Once we get the tailpiece on, we start getting the strings on, etc., etc. So we'll do this stage by stage. Okay, so I've got my G, my D, and my E all on. All we have to do is get the A. I've already got my old strings put away in the dominant wrappers. And so now all I got to do is get my A on here, and we're done. We can start tuning, but I'm going to be very careful. I want to make sure my bridge is well positioned here between the notches of the F hole. I need to check for straight up and down, you know, off the surface of the violin. So anyway, well, let's go ahead and get our A on here, and then we'll get things tuned up, see how things look, or sound, I should say. All right, very good, very good. We're getting there. Come on, baby, get up in there. There we go, there we go. It's in. It's in. Now I'm going to do this on my lap, guys. I can't do it. Can't be 3 places at once. I don't like that. I don't have a very good bite on this string, but it's wrapped over. Oh, that sounds great. Okay, they're all on. Get my A put up in its appropriate container. Keep in mind here, I may never use these again, but I just like to have them on hand in case the string breaks. And anyway, all right. So I've got dominance on here now. I want to just checking for position on my notches on your F holes. Okay, well, I'm going to shut this video off while I go through the painstaking business of tuning. And yeah, because it takes me a while, and I'm very, 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 very picky. Okay, we are back. everything's tuned up. And what I am getting out of this, and I wasn't getting this before with the other strings, but I mean, I cannot believe the resonance. You hear that? Especially on the low end. Oh my goodness. I don't remember it ever having that kind of beautiful harmonic resonance with those old strings. It was not there. Anyway, yeah, not bad. I think this E string is a little bit flat. Anyway, loving it. We'll play here in a little bit. I'm gonna let this the strings break in for a while, just settle, and then after a while we'll get out the bow and do some playing, see what she sounds like. Looking forward to this. Okay, so this is what I do over on my sailing channel, my little girl channel about my sailboat. We do a What's New corner. Well, we're doing one over here on Old Fiddle's New Life today. I have a brand new set of dominants already on my old German Strad. Loving them. Really enjoying the sound. Really wonderful on the low end. Okay, but now today we also have, hang on, let me get the knife out. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Oh, hang on. Let's just go ahead and do this. Slide this right in here. Okay, here we go. We've never done a What's New corner on Old Fiddle's New Life. Probably won't too often. But this is something I was really looking forward to. I've never done this. It's the first one I've owned. I have a Kuhn shoulder rest. And it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm already really working on trying to improve my my vibrato. Well, I reasoned in my mind that if I had a shoulder rest that would give me an independence of my left hand to a certain degree, that the shoulder rest would, that would help a lot. So I went ahead and I contacted Metropolitan Music up in Stowe, Vermont. They're very quick on getting things down to me. Usually it's a day. Now we had one day of the election and Martin Luther King Day, and so they got it in on Tuesday. Here it is Wednesday, and I've got it. So basically, they're living up to their standard. Really appreciate it. It's a marvelous to have a big old violin warehouse ordering place just right up here in Stowe, Vermont above us. So, all right, there it is. Let me go ahead and get it out. We'll take a look at it. Come on. I've already watched these on the internet a lot. I mean, okay, there it is. Okay, and I've actually looked at how they work. This is made in Canada, which I really appreciate. My wife has this thing about made in China, real attitude about it. I don't blame her. Okay, so we're gonna spin these in, and I have no idea. I've never done this before, and I have no idea how it's gonna fit on my old German Strad. But I love the padding here. It's marvelous. Look at that. Wow. Made in Canada. All of it. Shoulder rest. Very cool. All right, guys. I'm going to put it on my instrument after I've gotten used to this and kind of measured things up. I'll get back with you and show you. But I'm really, really happy with that. Nice quality. And they sell a lot of these. I mean, you know, they said they have two different brands. I can't remember the other one. Doesn't matter. They have two different brands that they sell the most of, but this is one of their top sellers. And okay, hey, thanks for stopping by. Old Fiddles, New Life. What's New Corner for the first time. Thanks, guys. This is a song that I wrote. I haven't played this online for a very, very long time. I think one of the very early days of Old Fiddles, New Life. But anyway, we used to live up on Cornhill Road in Vermont, and that's just outside of Pittsford. And the house that we lived in was very, very old, built back in 1810, something like that. And back in the 1800s, there was a lady that died upstairs. And she died of some, like black diphtheria. I can't remember what it was. But basically, it was so contagious, they lowered her out the window and buried her beside the house with no grave marker. And we're sitting around the house one night. And by the way, this house, even though it was modernized, kind of, you could when the wind blew, it blew up across this long field before it got to the house. And boy, on a windy night, you could hear it just blowing around the corners of the house. And it was kind of drafty, and just a whole sense of that woman dying upstairs, and the sound of the wind blowing, and it was kind of haunting. And so anyway, I wrote this song called "The Wind or the Green." In other words, the wind coming up over the green of the Green Mountains, up over the field and up around the corners of the house, with this kind of haunting sound. Just yeah, it's kind of was the whole reason I wrote it. Ironically, we had a very dear friend of ours that when she heard this song, she said, "Oh, so I can think of a lyric for that." She died. Never, nothing ironic on about that. It was sadly she never did get a chance to write the lyrics to this, and it's fine. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't need lyrics. I think the song kind of speaks for itself, the sound of it, because of the haunting nature of it. So anyway, I'm going to play "The Wind or the Green" and hope you enjoy this. Well, that was by no means a perfect rendition of "The Wind or the Green," but anyway, um, like I said, I'm working little by little to get my skills back. One of the things I did want to mention after playing that is with my new dominant strings on. I really am enjoying these. There's so much more depth and resonance, and I've got to work on that vibrato, though. I mean, this song that I just played, "The Wind or the Green," would be a whole lot more powerful, a whole lot prettier with the vibrato included in it. Anyway, whatever, guys. Listen, thanks for stopping by Old Fiddles, New Life. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll come out with another one when we get something coming up. All right, take care, guys. God bless. Have a good one.